Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of The Four Horsemen. My name is Paul, representing Diecast Graveyard. Myself, along with Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, Xavier from Diecast Show Customs, and Jeff from 164 Revival, we make up The Four Horsemen. Now, the rules for our get-together is once a month, one of us picks a casting. We all have to work off the same casting. That same person picks a theme. Well, this particular month, it's my theme. I've picked the 56 Ford pickup made out of Zamek, or at least with the Zamek finish, and the theme is oil/gas companies. Now, let's see what the other builders can come up with, but I've got something in mind that I want to do. It's a little bit nostalgic, but we're going to have a lot of fun with this build. We got some really cool paint coming and some decals. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here I've taken the truck apart. Well, one of the first things we need to do is worry about some type of a wheel swap. It's got a metal base on there, but we're going to switch out these plastic wheels for some real riders, and I think it's going to look pretty darn awesome. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get those wheels out of there. We got these sprue cutters, and we're going to take out this little tab that holds the axles in. Take those wheels off. I always save my wheels because you never know when you're going to need something for something else, especially for the axles. But, well, that one's giving me a fit here. These are really cheap sprue cutters I got from Harbor Freight. But I got some better ones. I think I'm going to toss these probably after this video and come up with the new ones. It's really giving me a hard time here. Well, can't save that axle, right? That won't buff out. But then I take my little screwdriver and I separate the little tabs a little bit more so the new wheels that I put in there will go in a lot easier. That's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and move on. Here's what it looks like after the wheel swap. Those tires fit under there really nice, and they really make this truck look nice. I'm pretty happy with that. That looks cool. Let's go ahead and move on. Alright, I think we're going to change out the engine that sticks out of the hood. I'm going to get something a little bit beefier, a little bit more meaty. That there, it's a beautiful truck, but man, that's kind of wimpy. That little tiny little blower or air catcher sticking out of there. We're going to widen up the hole, and we're going to put a different top to the engine in there. I took the top off of a 64 Chevy Nova gasser. This is the old one, and this is the top off the Nova gasser. I just think that looks a little bit more aggressive. We filed down where the original engine part was, and then we're going to glue that injector system in place so it'll stick out of the hood of the truck. That'll look pretty cool. Let's go ahead and feed that up in there so I can show you what it looks like, if I can get it to stay. Trying to work in small places with these big old knockwurst fingers is a little hard to do sometimes. There we go. And we'll glue that in place, and that'll look good. That looks a lot better than that little wimpy engine part that we had there. I like this much more. Maybe a little bit more filing for some fine-tune adjustments. But that looks good. I like that. Much more aggressive. Let's move on. Here we're going to take off the flames. Now I've got myself a dry erase marker. You can take the dry erase marker, I prefer the black markers, but you can take that dry erase marker and rub it on there and just rub it back and forth a little bit. Then take a cloth and wipe it off. This will slowly eat away at the decal that's on there. Now you got to be careful. If you use this dry erase marker in place too much, it'll start to eat the clear coat finish, and you don't want to do that. So keep an eye on how deep this is going so you don't eat up your clear coat. But if you take your time and do it right, eventually that decal is going to go away. There's your tip today from your Uncle Paulie. Just keep on rubbing, and that'll come off eventually. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell to be alerted to any future videos that come out. Just keep applying it. That's almost gone. Look at that. Notice that little piece on the door there? I got a little bit too aggressive with the dry erase marker and it started to eat through the clear coat. So that's why I tell you this. So you don't make the same mistake I did. But I've got a decal that I'm going to put over the door in this area. So that'll cover up that little bit mistake with no issues. You won't even know it was there. But I wanted to pass on that little tidbit of information for you. Then anything that's left in the door jambs or in the little cracks in the doors or anything like that, just take a little pick or something like that or a razor knife and you can take that stuff right out of there with no problems. Just like this. See how that comes right out? Nice. That's looking good. All right, we've accomplished what we've set out to do here. Since I don't have to dip it in any paint remover or anything like that, we're going to wipe it down with some Zep degreaser and get right to painting. The very first color I want to use here is a lime green. Put your tack coats on, get your hard to reach areas first. In your fender wells and in your door jambs and everything. Back in the pickup truck bed itself. And put on that light tack coat. I'm using paint from the Redline Shop. This is Spectre Flame Lime Green, also known as Apple Green. Man, on that Zamek underneath, this looks so hot. Beautiful color. Now we can put down a little heavier coats now that the initial tack coats have started to harden up. Just keep spraying even strokes. Make sure you get everything. That's looking good. Let's go ahead and move on. I've let it set up for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now the back end of the truck, we're going to put a darker green on there, this Spectre Flame green, and we're going to get a really nice fade on this truck. So it's going to fade from dark green to light green, or a yellowish green. Just be careful how much paint you're putting down because you're still at risk here of letting it run if you put too much paint down too soon. Make sure you get the hard to reach areas that you want to paint. You can already see the fade starting to come in. That's looking real sweet. I like where this is going so far for sure. Okay, well let's go ahead and we're going to let that set up at least overnight. and then we're going to put some decals on. Here I've got some decals I've applied. Sinclair Oil Company. Now Sinclair was really big back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and then they slowly started fading away, but they appear to be making a really good comeback. Kenny Terry at Waterslide Decals made these decals for me. www.kennyterry.com. He did an excellent job on these decals, and I go to Kenny when I need my custom decals made or anything else he may already have in stock. Don't forget to mention Diecast Graveyard when you make your purchase, and in the coupon area or discount area, type in the word graveyard and you'll get a 10% discount off your next order of decals from Kenny Terry. Here's what we started with. This 1956 Ford pickup, Zamek truck. We took the decals off with a dry erase marker. We painted it up. We did a wheel swap. We did a super faded paint job on here. We changed out the engine, made the hood opening a lot wider, put a really decent engine in there. We put the decals on, and the car looks absolutely, or the truck looks absolutely fantastic. Let's have our reveal. And this is what we got to. Look at that beautiful paint job. The dark green to light green fade. The wonderful decals from Waterslide Decals at www.kennyterry.com. Get a hold of Kenny. He'll do you up some fantastic decals. His prices are reasonable, and he stands behind his work. Man, this is a beautiful truck, and what a tribute to the Sinclair Oil Company. The little ribbon on the bottom says 100 years or over 100 years. Fantastic. I really love how this turned out. Now check out the other Four Horsemen build. Again, you've got Keith over at Outlaw Speed Shop, Xavier from Diecast Show Customs, and you've got Jeff from 164 Revival. I'll leave links in the comment section of my video, but please check out the other builds. I've got a Patreon page. All these great folks, they contribute to me every month, and they keep my YouTube page going. The money that they donate to me, I use it to buy supplies such as paint and wheels and buy cars and stuff like that, so I can keep making videos for you nice folks. There'll be a link in the comments section on how to join my Patreon team and become a member of Team Diecast Graveyard. And thank you so much to all these folks. It's getting to the point where there's so many to point out. Again, I'd like to point out, though, that Stacy Wright is under the Gravedigger category. I left him down there by accident as a hearse driver, and he's been donating as a gravedigger for quite a while. New member Adam Bowen up there, thank you so much, sir, for joining the team. I really do appreciate it, and all you other great folks. This is Paul, representing Diecast Graveyard for the Four Horsemen. Don't forget to join us next month for next month's build. It's going to be fantastic, and I look forward to having you. Please check out all my other videos at Diecast Graveyard. Have a great day.